It's been a long time. It's December 7th, 8 p.m. in the evening, and I want to make a video building my watch list for Monday. It has been a long time, guys. I don't know when the last time I made a video. Let me see when was the last time I made a video. It was probably, man, 7 months ago. 7 months ago was the last time I made a video. Holy shit, it has been quite a while. I hope everybody's been well. I've been trading, quietly trading, traveling like always, doing what I do. I guess I just needed a break. I just needed a break. I had a lot of stress. I've been pretty transparent about my journey with the stock market, and I had, I've been pretty transparent about the fact that I have a full-time job, but I've also had some businesses on the side that were doing well until they weren't, and closing down those businesses and making sure my tax situation was straight. And the last couple of years have been really challenging for me, and I've been doing really well in the stock market, and basically all my profits have been just going to offset just my losses in my businesses. So I had to get all that situated. Finally, all that is over, thank God. And and I feel like I can breathe and move on with my life. So I've and I was doing videos for a while. I mean, I was just banging out videos. I have 167 videos on my channel. So for those of you that are new, you can come in. You can see I have 167 videos. I have a whole ton of videos. That I think are really good, provide a lot of value. If you go to my playlist, if you go to this first here, momentum trading fundamentals, like I have actually like these 12 videos, almost like, think of it like a DVD, and it kind of intro into like the stock market. And I've evolved as a trader over the last couple of years. I mean, I'm light years ahead of where I was 2 years ago. I mean, things move really slow in the market. I can see things. I can catch momentum quick. I mean, this has been by far my best trading year. Not my most profitable because of because I haven't traded as much. But I mean, in terms of what I'm making, in terms of like when I trade, yeah, it's been by far my best year. I've had very few red days. These videos have been, I think they're really good. I still watch, I still watch videos like if Warrior Trading or Steven Ducks or whoever posts a video, or San Lucci, or all these guys, they post videos, or Nate, I watch them. You always watch just to see if there's anything you could pick up. But I put mines up against anyone's. I think mines are better, to be quite honest with you. Because I'm actually a teacher. Like, I teach in the private sector. I'm an instructional designer, and so I know a thing or two about education. I'm actually going to an education seminar next week. So I'm always adapting and learning new things about adult theory. So in terms of the market, so this is finviz.com. Finviz is fantastic. It's free. It has tremendous scanners that you can use to kind of find plays. The guys in my room, so for those of you who don't know, I do have a Discord room. It's interesting. I got about 97 people in the room right now. It's free. If you want in, let me know. But I'll be honest with you, it's just interesting to see how people are not as committed as you think they are to the stock market. So, when I told people on Twitter I'm going to open this room, everybody was like so excited, let me in. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, maybe like 15 people are pretty consistent, and everybody's they're just not in the room. So and I understand this is not for everybody, and life takes precedent. But eventually I'll be limiting this to just a few that are in there active, and just eliminating everybody else. But so if you want in, let me know. I'll be more than happy to invite you in. You can learn, you can participate, ask questions, all that good stuff. So in terms of the market, I mean, right now, everything is gone wild. The S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the SPY, everything is running. I mean, there's so much market manipulation. It's just running. So the market volatility is back because the Federal Reserve has been pumping money into the liquidity into the market That's why you're seeing activity go up. Otherwise, you would see a mega crash. That's the only thing that's really keeping the market up right now. And interest rates are going to go back to zero. So, but in the meantime, you know, it's because there's volatility. There's a lot of plays right now, and you can see all the sectors are pretty much green. Now, to build a watch list, you just basically do this. You go to screener, and you know, there's a lot of ways to do this. I'll go to all right here. And I have plenty of videos on this that you can go watch in very much more detail. And then what I do is you can look for stocks that are gapping up, the biggest percentage gainers and losers. That's what you basically look through. So what I'll do is I'll go here from change from open. Let's say I want to look for stocks that are up, let's say 5% with a minimum of a million volume, over a million volume. And right now we get 88 tickers. That is a lot of tickers. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and go through every single ticker. Now what I just did was I'm going to click the volume of filter so that I can filter by the stocks with the most volume to the least amount of volume. And then what you do with ThinViz, it's really cool. You could just like hover and then you can see the charts. So like I look for charts that are like breaking out or near breakouts or have multiple green days with a lot of volume, like Big. Big is a stock that actually traded Friday. I took a quick short and I made some good money shorting it quickly on Friday. And this is a stock that I would potentially look at because, you know, I don't care about the sector. Like some people be like, oh, all these short small caps. I don't care. I trade everything from Tesla to dog shit, sub-dollar penny stocks. It doesn't matter to me. As long as they got range and there's an edge, I'll trade it. So Big is a stock that I could potentially look at. So let's say I pull up that ticker. I'm gonna pull up Big. All right, so I'll type Big here, and this is Thinkorswim charting. All right, so right now this is a 30-day, 90-day, 30-minute chart, and we can see that it's been trading in this range. So it's been trading from the high of 26.75 to a low of 18.54. I think it had some positive earnings, and that's why it had this gap on Friday. And so, you know, it has all this range, right? Now, what you want to do is, down here is the daily chart. So this is the yearly chart. And what you want to do is you want to look to see how it's reacted over the last year. Yeah, it has this gapped up. But it has, if you notice, look, there's a lot of bag holders here in this 26.78 level. So you can see, right now it's at 25.18. Now, what I like to do is if I see a stock, let's say gap up, I like to see what happened the last time the stock did this, if it has done this before. So what I do is I go back. Right now I have the chart. I have a 4-year 1-day chart, and all I'm doing now is I'm just gonna look back in time to see the last time this stock had a gap up. Okay, so here, right here, you notice right here on this was March 7th. It had a gap up on March 7th. It opened at 31.74. It closed at 31.84. And then the next day it opened at 34.58. So it had this big gap up, and then it closed at 36.18. And then the next day it closed at 36.40, but it hit a low of 35.04. So it opened at 37.19, hit a low of 35.06, and it closed at 36.40. So it like gapped down, bounced, and up. So what does that tell me? That based on that, there is some potential that Monday this thing could pull back. So what you should always do is, before you map all your lines, just map the high and the low of the previous day. So here's the candle, right? So the high, right, was 25.35, right? So I'll go here 25.35, and the low, right, the low was 22.90. So I'm going on here 22.90, right? Here's 29.89, 22.90, right? So that's the high and the low of the day. Now what you want to do, and I can edit this if I wanted to be very specific, I could just do that, right? Okay, so you have some range here, right? What you want to see then is Mondays. Now pre-market, this can kind of break out and keep going, or this can fade. You don't know, it can consolidate. We can see, right? Now what you want to do is you want to go back and you want to see what's the next level above. Okay, well the next level above is this 26.75 level, right? So that's the highest point. But there's also a level here where there's a lot of bag holders got stuck. So yeah, I can go back. Let me go back even further so you can see. Let me go back 180 days, 30 minutes, so you can see. And if I go back, you can see that there was some bag holders caught in this level right here. You can see there's a lot of resistance here. You can see, let me zoom in here so you can see. There's a lot of resistance here in this 22, 26, 23, 25 level. So, you know, it could potentially have. So one of those levels it's going to gap to and it's going to pull back. Or what I would wait to see is, let me do, like when I trade, I like to trade off a 2-minute chart. And what I would do is, like, let's say, you know, at the open, let's say it starts like gapping down and then it gets down to around here and then the market opens and then it pulls in. Look at all these bag holders here. These people might just decide to get out. It's like a little war here. So you could take a short and you could say there may be some profit taking. But if you think the trend may be overall long, you're going to say, okay, well, where's a good opportunity to buy? The good opportunity to buy would be here because this is where the buyers originally got in. So if the stock pulled back, let's say it starts tanking, and I'm just saying hypothetically, let's say it starts tanking, and if it held this level here, right, because this was like the pre-market high, I see a lot of buyers here, so this 26, 2389, 2390 level would be the first target to see. If it held that, maybe, you know, shorts cover, so they take a quick wash and buyers get in and they go because they think it's going to keep going because the trend is higher. Or if it breaks down, the next level below would be 2290, and that may be where buyers may cover. So if you're long and you're just taking like a momentum day trade, you want to say this: okay, if shorts are driving the price of the stock down, where are they going to cover? Well, if I was shorting, this is probably what I'm going to cover, at least I'll try to cover. So here I could go long and I could potentially take a quick long. Now you're going to say, well, Omar, let's say, you know, there's some upside, right? So there's 2290 over here to 2389. That's pretty good. That's nearly $1 point, you know. And you could say, hey, you know, this is, you know, a higher price stock. It's the same principle with lower price stocks too, you know. And remember, you're gonna get leverage. So if you have, let's say you have a $5,000 account, you probably get your average broker will give you 4 times leverage. So you technically could trade with $20,000 worth of liquidity. So, you know, and that's kind of how you got to play the market. You got to know your areas. And it's funny now, you know what's interesting, and you can go look at my videos. Everybody's using lines. I don't, you know, I know Mad Ass was using lines, but not to the way I use. Like, he has like 50,000 lines. But I have key levels, and now you're seeing all these guys on Twitter talking about lines, which is funny. Not to say that I mean, I'm a nobody. I don't have many followers, but it's interesting now that you're seeing this become more and more popular. So, you know, that's what I would be looking at. And that's how you kind of prepare for the stock market. So I would have this on watch. I would put this here. I would put it on my watch list. So let's say if big was going to be on my watch list. I already had preset this. I would type it and just put it in my watch list. And now it could potentially be a stock that I would watch, you know, because it has some range. It can potentially give it all back, you know, or it could keep going, but you have some key levels and you have some range within. Now, because, you know, I could trade, me personally, I trade anywhere between 500 and 5,000 shares. This could be very profitable for somebody like me. And because this is a stock that has, you know, volume, you know, it usually has the average. Well, it's not a lot of volume. I'll be honest with you. Had a lot of volume on Friday, but this doesn't trade with a lot of volume. 1 million shares, so it's not very liquid. So you have to be kind of careful. But usually the higher price stocks are usually more liquid. But this is not the most liquid. But it was liquid on Friday, so you know, keep an eye out for that. All right. And then, you know, all I do is I just basically go through and just find more stocks like ADXS. Like, this is a stock that has some range. It's a sub-dollar stock, but you know, and I loved when I had the ability to do it, when I had Centerpoint. I loved shorting these kinds of stocks. I have E-Trade, and the reason why I use E-Trade is because I can't access DAS at work or Trade Zero or any of those brokers. There's a firewall, won't allow me to do it, so I can't place those trades, unfortunately. But this is something that you could potentially look at. Now, it's had a few green days, right? And, you know, you can look at the stock. You can see how many shares there's outstanding. You can see, you know, how many if there's insiders that own institutionally owned stock. You could see how the float, that it doesn't show anything here, just in case. This is it's moving on probably some bullshit. I'm not gonna even go into it to make, you know, because I don't want to make this video too long. Probably been yapping for a while now. But if I was to pull up the chart, ADXS, so you can see that this stock has just been, just basically on a tear. I don't know what's driving it. ADXS offers updates, cash balance anticipated to extend, business pipeline. Oh, they have some pipeline, so they probably got some cash, and maybe they had some sort of some good news. I don't really know what's driving it, but what I would do is say, okay, what's it done in the past? So this was stock, holy shit, that was at $244 at one time. So it's a piece of shit company, but it's having a run. So what I like to do is say, okay, it's been down in the 20-cent level. The last time it ran up, it only got to 48 cents. And then the second time, then it crashed back down, and then it ran back up, and it got to 54 cents. And it came down, but it kind of held. It didn't get back to this 20 cent level. It's just been running ever since. So you gotta be careful. Maybe there's some offering coming or something like that. But for the sake of, sometimes these stocks can keep running. So I would just map the line. So here's the high, right? 79 cents. Here's the low. Now look, see, look where it bounced off of. This is where people got in at that pre-market high, bounced there on that second pullback, and then it kept going. So I would map these levels, and then I would see, okay, what's the next level below this where there was a lot of buyers. In theory, this is where it would be, this 68 cents. So in this level, I would look to see potentially if it pulled back Monday, and if it held, it may be worth going long. You just want to see what the volume is. Over the last 30 days, this has been trading at 6 million volume. It was 16 million on Friday, and over the last 5 days, it's been 10 million. So there's a lot of volume. But look at the RSI; it's at 77, which doesn't always necessarily mean something, but people may be taking profit. Now, what you want to check to see, and I just pulled the daily up here, is that here there are some back holders up here at this 85-cent level. So if it got above 85 cents, I mean, the next level potentially is 123. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get there, but you could keep an eye out on it, to see what it's going to do. Let me put the 148 days. Yeah, so, there's a lot of overhead resistance after that level. But as you can see, if it could get over 85, the next key level here is 102. As you can see right here. So these are the levels above that you got to be careful about. But if you could get, let's say it pulls back Monday at the open, and if it could hold this level, this 70-cent level, you could take it long. And and this is where you can kind of build your account, because you could size in pretty well. It's going to be pretty liquid, and you can get, and it doesn't seem like much, but 7 cents. If you got enough size, you can get some, you can make a nice little profit there. And if it can get over that 79, the next level is 85. So it's just something to think about. So it's something you can watch. So I'll put it on my watch list. Now, full disclosure, I don't think I'm trading Monday. I'm going to be busy working, so I don't think I'll be able to trade. Sometimes I'll take a trade on my phone if I can catch something that's simple, low risk. I'll put it on there, and that's all I do, guys. I just look at the stocks through my filters, look at things with range. Like CLVS is one that I would look at, and I actually have a video about this. I'm sorry, I got all these freaking charts up. So let's do CLVS. All right, so CLVS, this is a stock that, has been on the move. Look at this. It went from 7 to 17, and it came back down to 8. Now, I have a video about this pattern, and I can tell you what I expect to happen come Monday or Tuesday. All right. Now, this is what I expect, and this is a stock that you can go long at the open, risking if it held. You can risk like this 932 level, or this 850 level. Now, I wouldn't want to be buying if my risk up here, because that's too much risk unless you're trading very small, 100 shares, 200 shares, whatever. But what I expect, this is actually a good stock to actually short. But let's say Monday, let me zoom in here. Let's say Monday this thing stays in this range and it pulls back. It just pulls back down to this, you know, like $9 level. If it holds, take it long, because this is what's gonna happen. And this is my guess. Well, it'll be recorded so you can see. I have a video about this, shorting into resistance. This is my favorite pattern actually. So what you're gonna see come Monday or Tuesday is that this is gonna spike, and it's gonna spike all the way to this level. Why? Because this is where the bag holders are. So you can expect it to spike to about this, like 1140, between 1137 and 1170 level. So you see right here, there's a lot of bag holders, especially right here, really. And this is, I think, you know, you can leave that line there if you want, but this is even the more accurate level. Right here is this 1166 level. There's a lot of bag holders here. So what happens is the stock's gonna spike, all the bag holders are like, oh my god, thank god it hit here, let me get the fuck out, and they all sell their position, and then you get selling pressure, and you're probably gonna get on a wash a couple of points. Sometimes though I see it where it'll fade and you think it's gonna end, it pulls back, it finds support, like let's say here, and then it just rips everyone, all those shorts cover, it goes in, new buyers come in, because I think this is if I'm not mistaken, CLVS, let me put it here, CLVS is the float is 54 million. So yeah, it's you know, it's not like a low float, but it's a smaller float, and that's what I would expect it to do. But if you want a Monday, I guarantee you that it's gonna spike. You know, my bet is that it will spike come Monday or Tuesday, and you can get an opportunity to take a quick long. But I would, if you're gonna take it long, again, make sure you get the hell out. You know, put a sell order, have it already up here, because it could potentially, it can even the $11. I mean, technically it can sell here, but these is what the most recent day. So I think this is where it's gonna really cave in this 11. You know, it could potentially 11. You know, this 1135, it can a 40 level it can reject, but it'll definitely, I think, wash somewhere up here, and then you could just take it short, write it down. All right, so that's CLVS. But you know, again, you want to map those next levels above and below. So like the next level above would be here. This would be a very important level to see, 13.95, 14 bucks, to see if it got up here. You know, it could fade again, and if you have the shares to short, you know, you can short it. All right, and so that's you know, this is how I build my watch list. I look at those key levels. I think about what could potentially happen, or where I'm looking to potentially take a trade based on those key levels, and I let the trade come to me. I'm not chasing stocks. I try not to. I did that a little bit on Friday, and I took a loss on Friday on AMD. I was you know, stupidly trading. Now, you know, I'm looking at these, and you see, I just look at these charts. See, these charts, I don't like them because there's just way too much, you know, like bag holders. You know, I like stocks, or a stock like this, even though it had a big drop. You know, this is something I could potentially look at. 8 million shares, like YEXT, even though it's the opposite. Let's see, YEXT. So YEXT, let's see, maybe this is something I'll potentially look at. All right, so this is a stock that I like these because this is a stock, it's very easy to trade in my opinion. You know, and if you can see, this is a stock that was at a high of 27. It was consolidated. It broke down to 12. It consolidated all the way up to 22, broke back down to 14, and you know, right now it's at the 1426 level, and you can see there's a lot of bag holders there. So what I would be doing is I would, now a lot of times, sometimes these things fill the gap and then tank, but what I would be doing is I would be mapping these levels and see what it's going to do. So if it breaks above this level at the open and holds 1439, I'll take it long, and then I'll be looking to sell right up in this level, right up here. All right, 1636, or even this 15. You know, you got to look at 1575. Technically, you can even look here. This could be a resistance point, but your real resistance is really up here, this 1638. So I would be looking to see, all right, if it holds, I'm gonna go low. Now, if it doesn't hold and it breaks below 1376, I'm gonna short this, because this could probably get back to 1225. Easy. To me, it's an easy easy trade because the levels are here. The chart is very clear. You know, it's consolidated right in this level. See, it's just in this trend. So it looks like it wants to break out. So if it breaks out, take it long. But if it comes to short, don't overthink trading, guys. Don't overthink it. The good thing is that when you build out a plan, you know what you're potentially looking for. That's why it's good to build out a watch list in advance. All right, so I got 4 longs. Let me show you the opposite, just so you can see. And I'm gonna do the opposite. So instead of looking for change from the open up 5%, and you know I can still look. There's just to show you, like I'm not gonna do it, but there's like 7 pages worth of tickers. I mean, there may be much better tickers to trade that I could be looking for. I'm just, because I don't want to make this video 10 hours. I'm doing that. But let's say I want to look for stocks that are down 5%. And you know, again, this is the most filtered volume, and I can look for potential stocks. Like dog shit like this, I would stay away from. But I love to look for stocks like big caps that have really, like I had a horrible red day that I could potentially short into a spike, like into overhead resistance. Like this is healthcare, biotech, mRNA. Let's look at 2 red days. Trying to see. All right, this is a higher price stock, but I want to show you like GWRE. Let me show you this, just to show you what I mean. GWRE. Okay, so a stock like this, like it's very, you know, and this is a stock that, you know, it's all over the place, and a lot of times these stocks, the spreads are crazy. But I'm just trying to make a point. Just what I really want you to focus on is the patterns that I'm looking for. I'm looking at the patterns. So when I look at a stock like this, I'm gonna put 5-day, 15-minute. Let's see. All right. So this stock hit a low of 109.14. Very simple. So I'm looking at the 109.14 to see what it's gonna do there. Obviously, right? So let's do that. And here's where it kind of peaked, and it's kind of holding this resistance, right? What's the next level above? Like right in this level, and then there's the top level here. Now, I don't know what drove it. Now you can look and see why it tanked. So let's see. Analysts, JP Morgan raises guidance software target from 126 to 122. That's why. So it dropped the price of the stock. The analyst did. So it tanked based on the guidance. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to look on the daily and see, all right, what's the next level below? And I'll put up this 360-day 4-hour time frame. So now here I'm saying, okay, what if it breaks down, it breaks the low? What's the next level of where buyers got in? Right here would be that this 107.48. So that's 2 points. It doesn't seem like a lot, but yo, these high price stocks, don't let these gurus lie to you. There's a lot of range in these higher price stocks, and when you kind of configure, you know, when you know how to like follow the trend, you can make a lot of money shorting these and longing these with very little size, a couple hundred shares. And then you would say, okay, what's the next level below? Just in case you could, you know, I would say right here, this is the next level below. So you see, I'm just looking at support and resistance levels, and then I'm making trades off that. So don't overthink it. Now, what I would expect is maybe this fades, you know, pre-market, and then it pops, and it comes into this level, and then it rejects, and then it keeps taking, and you can take it short. You know, if you have, and again, you know, obviously it's a higher price account, but I just wanted to show you what I mean by the pattern. All right, so I'm gonna end the video here. I'll put that on the watch list just because I think the video is too long. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. Hey, Omar, it's too long, too short. Can you just have a video where you already have the watch list already built? Usually that's what I do. But I just hadn't done one in so long. I just thought, you know, I just build it in real time. So, you know, just again, you can go through the stocks long and short and just build out your watch list. So leave me some comments, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll be... I got some news about what my plans are next year. So, you know, if you're interested in like really being part of a class and meeting a few times a week, like for a couple of months, to join an educational service, let me know, because that's what I'm thinking about. It's where I'm heading with what I want to do in 2020. All right. So hope everybody's well. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.